Hello, Michael here, looking at Psalms 83 for our devotion today. A psalm which may be subtitled, O God, do not keep silence. And we're focusing on verse 14 through to 18 as we close out the psalm. Let's go ahead and read those 5 verses. Verse 14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And 16. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. 17. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. And verse 18. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is JEHOVAH, art the most high over all the earth. And as we turn to the treasure of David for the exposition, let's go ahead and read verse 14 again. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountain on fire. Spurgeon exposits. As the fire burneth a wood, long years have strewn the ground with deep deposits of leaves. These, being dried in the sun, are very apt to take fire, and when they do so, the burning is terrific. The underwood and the ferns blaze, the bushes crackle, the great trees kindle, and to their very tops are wrapped in fire, while the ground is all red as a furnace. In this way, O Lord, mete out destruction to thy foes, and bring all of them to an end. The flame setteth the mountains on fire. Up the hillsides the hanging woods glow like a great sacrifice, and the forests on the mountain's crown smoke towards heaven. Even thus, O Lord, do thou conspicuously and terribly overthrow the enemies of thine Israel. And verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. The Lord will follow up his enemies, alarm them, and chase them till they are put to hopeless rout. He did this according to the prayer of the present psalm, for his servant Jehoshaphat, and in like manner will he come to the rescue of any or all of his chosen. Verse 16. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Shame has often weaned men from their idols, and set them upon seeking the Lord. If this was not the happy result, in the present instance, with the Lord's enemies, yet it would be so with his people who were so prone to err. They would be humbled by his mercy, and ashamed of themselves because of his grace. And then they would with sincerity return to the earnest worship of Jehovah their God, who had delivered them. Verse 17. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. Where no good results followed, and the men remained as fierce and obstinate as ever, justice was invoked to carry out the capital sentence. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. What else could be done with them? It was better that they perish than that Israel should be routed up. What a terrible doom it will be to the enemies of God to be confounded and troubled forever, to see all their schemes and hopes defeated, and their bodies and souls full of anguish without end. From such a shameful perishing may our souls be delivered. And verse 18. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is JEHOVAH, art the most high over all the earth. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is JEHOVAH, art the most high over all the earth. Hearing of the Lord's marvelous deeds is defeating such a numerous confederacy. The very heathen would be compelled to acknowledge the greatness of Jehovah. We read in 2 Chronicles 20:30 that the fear of God was on all the neighboring kingdoms when they heard that Jehovah fought against the enemies of Israel. Jehovah is essentially the Most High. He who is self-existent is infinitely above all creatures. All the earth is but his footstool. The godless race of man disregards this, and yet at times the wonderful works of the Lord compel the most unwilling to adore his majesty. Thus has this soul-stirring lyric risen from the words of complaint to those of adoration. Let us in our worship always seek to do the same. National trouble called out the nation's poet laureate, and well did he discourse at once of her sorrows and prayers and hopes. Sacred literature thus owes much to sorrow and distress. How enriching is the hand of adversity. The following attempts to verify the psalm and tune it to the gospel purposes is submitted with great diffidence. O God, be thou no longer still. Thy foes are leagued against thy law. Make bare thine arm on Zion's hill, great captain of our holy war. As Amalek and Ishmael had war forever with thy seed, so all the host of Rome and hell against the Son their armies led. Though they are agreed in naught beside, against thy truth they all unite. They rave against the crucified, and hate the gospel's growing light. By Kishon's brook all Jabin's band at thy rebuke were swept away. O Lord, display thy mighty hand, a single stroke shall win the day. Come rushing wind, the stubble chase, come sacred fire, the forest burn. Come, Lord, with all thy conquering grace, rebellious hearts to Jesus turn. That men may know at once that thou, Jehovah, lovest truth right well, and that thy church shall ever bow before the boastful gates of hell. So sublime is it all. Trust you enjoy the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.